Leeds International School, Form 5, Lower, First Midterm, English Language. Reading Skills, pages 4 to 9. Objectives of the lesson. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to learn several reading skills or reading strategies. You will be able to summarize the key points of a text quickly. To build confidence in independent reading. To be able to interpret the information and ideas in a text. To be able to find out what the text implies. To be able to organize the ideas and structure the writing clearly and with direction. This is the first skill or first reading strategy. Skimming and scanning. Now let's see what skimming is. Skimming is reading rapidly in order to get a general overview of the material. That means only a general idea of what the text is about. Scanning is different. Scanning is reading rapidly in order to find specific facts. You are reading with the intention of searching for specific facts. While skimming tells you what general information is within a second, scanning helps you locate a particular fact. Now let's learn this in detail. Skimming. Skimming is useful when you want to quickly get a general idea of what a text is about. Say, now you are reading an unseen passage. So you need to know what this passage is about. What is the theme or the general idea of the text. Reading quickly to understand that is called skimming. When you skim, you read through the text 3 or 4 times faster than when you read each word in order to get a sense of the topic, ideas and information being conveyed. Okay, when you are skimming, you read faster than when you want to scan. When should I skim? So, it's a skill that you have to practice. So, when should you skim in a text? When you have a lot to read in a short space of time. Right? So, you have to quickly read through and get a general idea. When revising topics to identify key information, sometimes you have to skim when you are revising, just to recall what you have learned earlier. When locating a passage in a text, you are asked to find or you want to locate a passage from a larger text, then you skim through very quickly. To find relevant material when planning an essay, say that you want to write an essay and you need material, you need facts, you can quickly skim and get the ideas. This is a hint. To skim effectively, you don't read everything. What you read is more important than what you skip. Try to highlight key points. Rephrase the main point of each paragraph in your own words. Now, if you are reading a passage with many paragraphs in it, you can rephrase or rewrite the main idea of every paragraph. Underline any unfamiliar words. These are some of the things that you can do when you are skimming. Scanning. Scanning refers to reading through material to find specific information. Now, skimming gives you a general idea what the text is about, and When you want to find specific information, you have to scan. When you scan, you run your eyes over the information in a text and pull out specific words, phrases, or pieces of information. You may not realize, but you scan through different texts every day, from television guides to football results. Say in the newspaper, you want to know the results of the football match which was held the day before. You quickly go through, you scan only to find who won. Or you want to watch a particular program in the television. So you take a television guide and quickly rush through to find out when that particular program will be telecast. That is called scanning, searching for specific information. When should I scan? When looking for specific pieces of information quickly to locate a relevant quotation or section in a literature text. Now when you are writing an answer in the English language paper, you want to add quotations into that to prove what you are discussing. In that instance, you have to quickly find out that quotation from a larger text. There you scan through very quickly to find the quotation that you need. That is called scanning. Okay, this table further clarifies what skimming and scanning are. What's skimming? Skimming is reading a text quickly to find out the general theme, topic, or meaning. Then what is scanning? Scanning is reading a text quickly in order to find specific information. For example, figures or names. Then skimming. It is useful for pre-reading tasks or texts that don't need a lot of detailed attention. Skimming is useful for that. What about scanning? It is useful for answering exam type questions which ask for true, false or to discover facts, etc. So it's important when you are answering an unseen passage especially. There's no need to read every word in skimming. The objective is to search out relevant words or collocations, etc. in scanning. And the last point is, in skimming, the focus is on improving speed of reading. You are improving your speed just to get the general theme or topic or the meaning of the text. And in scanning, the focus is more on lexis than general meaning, words or grammar or information, and to ignore irrelevant information. That also is a strategy that you learn through scanning. Now let's do a simple exercise. Here is a recipe of a favorite food, pizza. These are the ingredients you need to prepare this particular pizza. You need pizza dough, pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, and etc. Then you have the method of preparation. After reading this, you have to find answers. When you are writing answers or finding answers for these questions, you do not have to skim because you know the general idea. The general idea is that the text describes how to make a pizza, but that doesn't help you to find answers. So that you have to scan to find out the answers for these 5 questions. First question: how many vegetables should be added to the pizza? So you have to find that specific information and write an answer, a number as an answer. How many vegetables? 5. So you have to scan through to find that out. How many types of cheese do you need to make this pizza? That again should be scanned to find out. How long will it take to cook? What should be done to the sausage? How much flour is needed in this recipe? So finding answers can be done only if you scan. Skimming will not help you to find answers to these questions. So now I hope you have understood what is meant by scanning. How do you skim read? When you use the skimming technique, you don't read the whole text word for word. You should use as many clues as possible to give you some background information. There might be pictures or images related to the topic or an eye-catching title. Now you have to look at all this and get a general idea. Let your eyes skim over the surface of the text and look out for keywords while thinking about any clues you found about the subject. So you are not reading word by word. You are looking at the pictures, you look at the title, you look at the keywords, and then you are trying to get a general idea about the theme or the topic or the meaning of that text. Read the title, subtitles and subheadings to find out what the text is about. Look at the illustrations to give you more information about the topic. Read the first and last sentence of each paragraph. That also is a way of finding out the general theme. Don't read every word or every sentence. Let your eyes skim over the text and look out for keywords. Continue to think about the meaning of the text. This is how you skim read. Strategies for skimming. Read the topic sentence. This will give you a good sense of the ideas and structure of the whole text. Read the topic sentence. So what is a topic sentence? Look at subject vocabulary. Topic sentence is the first sentence in a paragraph. So there are many paragraphs in a passage and there are many topic sentences as well, because each paragraph contains a topic sentence. Again, back to strategies for skimming. Read the first and last paragraphs. Use chapter names, headings and subheadings as a guide. Then strategies for scanning. For scanning to be successful, be sure of your purpose. That means what are you planning or what do you want to do in this? What is the purpose of reading? Think about what information you are looking for before you begin to scan the text. Consider how the text is structured. Is it arranged alphabetically, by category, chronologically, or does it use other devices such as flashback? So, if you don't know what chronologically means organized in linear time, in the order of time. Then flashback means a scene in a film, novel or set in a time earlier than the main story. Can also be used in non-fiction work. That means the text is in the present and you are referring to a time earlier, something that had happened before the time mentioned in the text, which is called flashback effect. Third strategy, use your index finger to help you, such as when scanning a timetable for a train time. Move your finger down the text at the same time as your eyes to help you maintain focus. This I think you must have done in your day-to-day life without knowing that it's a strategy for scanning. Using your finger at the same time as your eyes to help you maintain focus when you are reading through to find out specific detail. Activity 3. Summarizing information. Once you are confident that you understand the text, you need to able to be summarize the key points that the writer makes. Now when it comes to your exam papers, you have the unseen passage. You need to be able to summarize the key points that the writer makes. A good summary phrases these points in a concise and clear style. A good summary phrases these points in a concise and clear. Concise means small or summarized, and clear style. Choose an extract and write a summary of it. Now you have to skim and scan both to do this. Hint. Use your own words in a summary wherever possible. Simply repeating sentences from the original text does not show that you have understood what the writer is communicating. Do not repeat the sentences. Try to write your own words and own sentences in a summary. This is to make sure that you can skim and scan both effectively. The other reading strategy that we are going to discuss in this video is implicit and explicit meaning. A simple change in the prefix implicit and explicit is usually enough to give the word a different meaning or even turn it into its antonym opposite word. This is why words such as implicit and explicit are very tricky and cause many problems to all the speakers of English. It often happens that these words are misused and this leads to a lot of confusion. So we will learn what implicit means and what explicit means. Implicit is something that is implied, that means not expressed directly but still understood because it is suggested by the choice of words, the tone of voice, right? You are not directly told but you understand, it is understood easily. Explicit is something that is stated directly and fully with no room left for implications. You understand or you get it very quickly because it's directly and fully explained or stated. That is called explicit. We'll learn it further. Explicit and implicit meaning. Subject vocabulary. Infer means read between the lines. Then key points. Explicit meaning is where the writer explains their ideas, right? Very directly and clearly. Implicit meaning is where the writer implies the ideas. You have to infer and imagine based on what you know. It's not given directly, implied. So it's implicit. Now look at this picture. A couple on their wedding day. What is the explicit meaning of the picture? When you directly look at it, you see a woman in a dress holding flowers and standing close to a man in a suit. That is what you see very quickly and clearly. A woman holding flowers standing close to a man in a complete suit. What is the explicit meaning? We may be able to infer that this is a wedding photograph because we have experience of seeing this type of image being related to weddings. So we know that usually brides are wearing white dresses and they hold a bouquet of flowers. So that is the implicit meaning that comes with what we have experienced earlier. Our knowledge, prior knowledge, everything helps us to get the implicit meaning. When you look simply at something, what you just see, the surface meaning, is called the explicit meaning. And finally, how to structure a reading answer, learning objectives. This lesson will help you to organize your ideas and structure your writing clearly and with direction. Point, evidence, explain. This is called the PEE technique. When writing, it is important to express points in a clear and structured way. We organize writing into paragraphs. Each paragraph should be self-contained and make sense on its own. Every paragraph should be clear and should make sense. It should be constructed of a group of sentences which all link to the same idea, theme or topic, because you are writing based on the keywords of the question. Making the perfect point. The PEE, that means point, evidence, explain. Chain stands for point, evidence, explain. This is the order in which you should organize the information in each paragraph that you write. So when you are writing an answer, reading answer, you have a point, then you have to provide evidence to prove the point and explain the point. Number 1. State your basic point clearly and concisely. That means short, in a short way. Your point should be relevant to the task or question that you have been set. That is based on the keywords of your question. Demonstrate how you can support your opening statement with reference to a specific part of a text that you are writing about. That means evidence. You have to show what you are writing related to. Quotations can be used as evidence to support what you are saying. That is where you need to scan and to help you to make your point. Try to select words or phrases from the text that precisely support your point and keep them as brief as possible. Don't write very long quotations. Use inverted commas, also known as quotation marks, to indicate where you have used words directly from another text, where you have used quotations. Quotations should be written within quotation marks. Then now you have done point and evidence. The last one is explanation. Add an explanation. The first step is to explain how your quotation supports the point that you have made. You have a point and you have given an evidence also. Now you have to explain how these two help you, so that your reader knows why you have included it. In English language, it is often useful to consider the use of language, going into some detail about the writer's choice of words. This is also known as diction, and considering any linguistic device or technique, any language techniques which have been used. Perfect punctuation. Short quotations of a single line or part of a line should be incorporated with quotation marks as part of the running text of your essay. Just like this. Quotations of 2 or more full lines should be indented from the main body of the text and introduced by a colon like this. You are opening inverted commas. This is how you would quote a longer piece of text, comma, but make sure that is all relevant, full stop, close inverted commas. You can have a bit longer quotation, but always make sure that only the relevant part is quoted, not the whole text. Key points. Follow these 4 rules for excellent writing. First one is structure. Ideas must be clearly expressed and logically sequenced. That means written in a logical order. Paragraphs. Paragraphs should be well constructed and follow on from one another. You are writing and the paragraphs should be linked to each other using connectives. Quotation should be correctly presented. Then your word choice, vocabulary. Use a wide range of key vocabulary with precision, that means accuracy. But the word that you have used there should be correct. And the last one is spelling, punctuation and grammar. Maintain accuracy throughout. When you are writing an answer, make sure you have spelled the words properly, you have used the correct punctuation marks, and the grammar in your sentences is correct. So, we have come to the end. This is the summary of what we learned. We learned reading strategies such as skimming, scanning, implicit meaning and explicit meaning. Now I hope you know what they mean just by hearing the word. Then we learned when and how to use the reading strategies. When to use skimming, when to use scanning, how to get the implicit and explicit meaning. Then how to structure a reading answer using the PEE chain: point, evidence, explanation. So I hope you understood the lesson today. Thank you very much for watching the video.